You put an average NFL starter in there because EJ was below average. Kyle Orton's been below average for the most part. You put an average guy in there. This is an 11 or 12 win team with that defense.
And the excitement isn't over. This is Selection Sunday. Bulls will find out later on their first round opponent, also the first round site. They'll be playing either Thursday or Friday night for the first time in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, it hasn't happened very often. First time in 10 years the Bills go into a draft without a first-round pick. Now, traditionally, this is the night fans drool over, but it'll probably be pretty quiet around here at One Bills Drive. Change of scenery for the Bills' changing of the guard. The focus shifting from a football field in Detroit now to a hotel in Manhattan, where Terry and Kim Pegula will officially take over as the Bills' next owners. Felt like a Bills home game, to be honest. And now Andre Reed is home in Canton, Ohio, as a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
You know, not a surprise to see Khalil Mack playing so well. I mean, we all saw him dominate when he was at UB, but the big surprise is the Bills just falling flat in easily their biggest game of the season, probably their biggest game in a decade.
We're here at Salem Sports Park in Elma, no stranger to the game of soccer here, but this version has a little more bounce to it.
Steve Vesey is here with more. Big day for him and the franchise.
Yeah, you know, everyone involved today talking about turning this team around and starting with this 18-year-old Jack Eichel, now firmly the cornerstone piece. Coaches, scouts, GMs, they've been talking him up for a long time. Today, Jack Eichel begins the journey, trying to turn the Sabres into contenders, and he knows he's the one leading the way.
This young man is going to hopefully take us places where we haven't been and take us up from where we've been in the last couple of years.
Jack Eichel dragging it in.
No pressure, right? Although Eichel, well-versed in the hype machine, lived through it in college and now leaving college behind for his shot to be a star with the Sabres.
You know, since I was 4 years old, this is all I've wanted. Everything I've done my entire life is to be, a professional ice hockey player. Looking at the opportunities that the Sabres have given me and, to be a part of this organization, I think it was kind of a no-brainer. This is where I want to be.
And where fans are now dreaming of the day he raises a cup. But Eichel, to his credit, not looking too far into the future.
I still have to make the team first. I think that's my first goal. And then, after that, I really hadn't thought about it much. It's really been a whirlwind the last week.
And the fact that he talks about he still has to make our team and things like that. Nothing's a given to him or his family, and I think that bodes well for us, certainly as an organization. And I think it bodes well for him when he does get another level of success.
Now, he hasn't even picked a number to wear yet, so clearly focused on the here and now and not really worrying about the rest. Sabres development camp coming up next week. That will be his first time on the ice as a Buffalo Sabre.
Awesome. Safe to say he will be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I would say so. That's the plan. If you hear the head coach, Dan Bilesman, talk tonight, too, Eichel's a very special talent. He's ready-made for the NHL. Already thinking up line combinations. Bilesma is in his head. You better believe Eichel's a big part of that, and I'll have more from the head coach coming up in sports.
Great. All at the age of 18.
Must be nice, right?
I wouldn't know.
Justin Moss, the heartbeat of this history-making UB team, but that heartbeat almost kept him off the court altogether. When Moss first started his college career at Toledo, doctors found out he had a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM, potentially fatal in athletes.
It's just like athlete's heart. Basically, it's just I have a big heart. I work on it. It might overwork itself or something like that.
It's the same condition that killed former NBA star Reggie Lewis in Toledo. Wouldn't even let Moss step on the court. So he took matters into his own hands. Doctors implanted a defibrillator, giving him a second chance at basketball.
Justin did his homework with his mom, and they got independent doctors to clear him.
Whether I had the heart condition or not, I always loved basketball. So it's either playing in college or playing at the rec or something like that. So I always felt like I was going to play some type of basketball.
Turns out he'd end up playing right here at UB.
Justin was going to play somewhere, and we felt like, why not here with us, with a good plan in place to monitor it in the best way possible, which we do.
And now Moss, one of the breakout stars in the entire nation, getting a chance to not only play,
but play on the biggest stage.
He's a tough guy. He's a really nice kid, a soft-spoken kid, but he's a fierce competitor on the court and loves his teammates, and that's why, even though he was nowhere near 100%, he stepped up and gave us whatever he had and helped us to a championship.
Moss, all heart, no matter what the doctors once said. At UB, Steve Vesey, News 4 Sports. We're here at Salem Sports Park in Elba, no stranger to the game of soccer here, but this version has a little more bounce to it. It's called bubble soccer. Literally, you're running around in a giant bubble while playing soccer.
Maybe you have one of those friends that you secretly want to just kind of lay out. This is a really good opportunity to get out there and do that, and at the end of the day, it's still all good.
How physical is this?
Yeah, so it's pretty physical, but actually injuries are really rare. I mean, you're in your own private, personal bubble.
Full contact, full speed ahead, count me in. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take you inside one of the bubbles, strapping the GoPro on the head, and we're going to get in one of these bad boys. Perhaps not my best decision. Climbing in, that was the easy part. Then they blew the whistle.
Buffalo Bubble Soccer, fire it up.
The view from the GoPro, even better. It looks like I went through a tornado. At the same time, you know what? He was right. Didn't feel a thing. So I got back up and got knocked back down. Over and over and over again. Instantly, you get the appeal here.
You come out here, and not only do you have the opportunity to be as a cohesive unit with the team building experience, but at the same time, get your boss out here. Let's take him off his feet a couple times, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be reliving me getting lit up for quite some time. They have leagues also coming to Canal Side this summer. For details on how you can get inside the bubble, head to the sports page at WIVB.com. In the studio, Steve Vesey, News 4 Sports.
Now, News 4 continues with the latest in sports.
Corey Graham always finds a way to earn his way onto the field. Had about a month and a half to learn a new position. No problem. Graham out there with the starters at safety for the second day in a row. Rex Ryan first moved in there back in June, so what Graham did was dive headfirst into that position over the last month or so. Big difference from corner, but he's embraced the change, and he's thankful he's had some time in the league in his career to make it a smoother transition. You think it's easier to make that transition when you're more of a veteran guy?
Yeah, definitely. Because you kind of know defenses, you know the schemes and things like that, so it helps that I already know football a little bit. So it's a good time for me to play it. I mean, I'll continue to get better. I just got to get in the playbook. I mean, being in Rex defense don't make it easy. I mean, it's a lot of calls and things like that, but it's something I'm prepared to do.
When you're able to play man coverage at the safety position, that is huge. So I think that's obviously a big plus for us, and we want to play a lot of man. So having that kind of skill set really helps.
Yeah, it gives you an idea why we're seeing Graham out there with the starters, a former corner, instead of Duke Williams, more of a hitter at safety. Battle brewing at right tackle in camp. Cyrus Kwanjo still getting most of the first team reps, but Rex Ryan said today Chantrell Henderson's caught his attention. Henderson was sort of in the doghouse back in OTAs and minicamp, but reported for work this week with a purpose.
I've been really impressed. He came in great shape, and he's ready to compete. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So that's where that competition is going to be. It's going to be fierce, and it's going to be great to watch. And we'll see how it shakes out in the end.
As for the O-line coach, told you earlier, no update on Aaron Cromer's status, still on paid leave. Kurt Anderson, you see there, still filling in on the practice field. Bills also claimed a massive tackle off waivers tonight, 6'7", 341-pound Taron Jones. A couple notes from practice today. E.J. Manuel and Matt Castle getting most of the work with the starters today. Tyrod Taylor, he was out there a little bit with that group near the end. None of them doing much of anything to get excited about. Along the O-line, John Miller left with an ankle bruise. Ryan said that shouldn't be a big deal. Tight end Chris Manhertz expected to practice again soon, but Leotis McKelvin might be out for a while, had a setback with his ankle injury. Brief setback for the Porter Cup today. Rain delay led to a late finish tonight. Better late than never, especially for Denny McCarthy. McCarthy, a two-time runner-up in this event and in contention all day long. Pittsburgh's Gavin Hall right there with him for much of the day, looking for eagle at 3. Leaves it a little bit short. Easy tap-in bird from there. Hall, though, would tail off later on, finished third at 9 under. Carter Jenkins with the par putt on number 2. He finished at 11 under par for the week, but McCarthy would pick up the win. Chips out of trouble on number 3. He'd save par on the hole. Denny McCarthy beating Jenkins in a one-hole playoff.
He's your 2015 Porter Cup champ. Buffalo Bisons simply blew it in the ninth tonight. Marco Hernandez, a 3-run homer, top of the ninth, part of a 5-run ninth inning for Pawtucket. Herd actually had a 6-1 lead going into the eighth. They let it slip away in a hurry. Paw Sox win it tonight, 8-7. This is the second time in a matter of a few days that the bullpen's just completely imploded. Not what you want to see.
But at least we'll have another chance tomorrow.
That's why we love baseball.
Yes.